Oh, it's live.
We are live. All right. How are we
All
doing,
right.
Lexi?
I'm good. How are you today?
Awesome. Welcome. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. My name is Clyde Keep, and I'm coming to you live from Gulfport, Florida. And I'm here with not only my niece, but also my naturopathic doctor, who is my
Right?
go-to person. I probably abused my family privileges a
Oh
little
my
more
God.
than I should, but so we are here today to talk about some really exciting stuff, and I really want to get into that soon here. But first, I wanted to just make sure that everyone that's watching, looks like we got a couple of people already jumping on here. If you could just
Yay.
put down in the comments where you're watching from, like city and state, and we'd love to know where you're coming from so we can respond back to you and say hi and all that. Let us know if you're watching the live or watching the replay, and we'll get some conversations going throughout the entire live. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. Even if we can't answer them live, we'll make sure we go back and answer your questions on the comments and stuff as well. So Ashely
100%.
South on from Bakersfield, California. We'll have Ashley on
Hey,
here in just a little bit.
Ashley.
Super excited to see you. That's awesome. So Lexi, tell me a little bit about you and what is a naturopathic doctor? What's your background? How did you do all that? And just give us a
Yeah,
little background about yourself.
that sounds great. So I started my career off in wellness and exercise. I got a master's in exercise science, and I was seeing clients, and I just couldn't help everyone. People just are so complex, right? And so working out with them in the gym and giving them the macro advice just isn't perfect. And I just knew that there was more. There was more than just going to see your doctor. You needed really to hone in on those micronutrients in whole foods and how to just supply the body with the nutritional gaps that exist in society now. Our food's depleted, and we just don't eat the food that is rich in nutrition because we love sugar and we love, yeah, we love the
Guilty.
treats. Yeah. So about 15 years ago, I went back to school. That was when my youngest was just about a year old, and I started pursuing naturopathic doctor, which a traditional naturopathic doctor. I have no hospital rights, and I just use like herbs, food, essential oils, really a lot of mind work, how to hone in your mental and emotional wellness. And so it's kind of what I do now. And I live actually in a suburb of Lansing, but my office is in Holt, Michigan, and that's where I'm at today. And this is where I see clients one-on-one and really help walk with them in a way to improve their wellness, where doctors just don't have that time to do it,
Yeah,
to do
for
that.
sure. And you also will work with people virtually. If there's anybody that's watching that's not in your area, right? You could
Absolutely.
work with people virtually. And you're a doula.
Yeah. Oh, so I just got off of this last weekend a 40-hour birth, which was a little long, but yeah, so like all of that. Well, I started naturopathic school. I started having kids. I have 5 kids, and it kind of goes right with that holistic doula. So I use all those same um herbs, essential oils, supplements. Oh my gosh, our moringa. I have this client right now who her baby was having trouble gaining weight, and they in utero, and she started using moringa, and her baby went up like 2% in like 2 weeks. It's like amazing.
That's
I'm
crazy.
like, okay, like I'm gonna
I
keep
love that. And
supplying
and that's one
you.
of the first things I learned about moringa is actually that was one of the first reasons why it was used naturally,
Yeah,
right? Was for people, the tribal women to get their babies to like, yeah. So that's
to
so
wait.
cool. That's
So
awesome. I
cool.
love that.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about like I have people tell me all the time that like, oh, I don't really need supplements because I eat really well.
Right,
Like
right.
I eat lots of fruits and vegetables. So what would be your answer to something like that?
Yeah, I mean, like, really nobody can take in enough nutrients how our bodies were designed to take in our Western culture. It is virtually impossible. There is nutritional gaps. And if you say like, oh, I'm getting so much nutrition, but you're probably being exposed to toxins on a regular basis, even just sitting here, like our electromagnetic,
Mm-hmm.
toxicity, or I drove here in a car and I was behind a truck and I was breathing his exhaust. Our toxic load is so heavy. And when we have toxic load in our body, it strips away the nutrients. So we are not holding on to the nutrients, even if we're eating on par perfectly 7 days a week, 375 days a year, 365 days a year.
Yeah, right. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Makes total sense. Yeah, that makes total sense, and it's it's hard to get people to understand that. But I wish there was like a test you could take or something.
Right.
I'm sure
No.
there are like. So tell me about gut health. Gut health is kind of a buzzword right now, right? We
Right.
talk about hear it
Always.
everywhere. We talk about like, oh, it's your second brain. What the heck does
Yeah.
that mean?
Oh my God.
So explain to me all that kind of stuff. So talk to me like I'm a third grader.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So like when you chew up food, right? There's like this, your body was designed with perfect digestion. So when the food hits your mouth instantly, like let's say we're going to take a bite of a donut, right? And so enzymes instantly are triggered for your stomach, and they know that those are carbs and those are sugars and those are fats. And the problem is our bodies don't do that very well anymore. Like those enzymes, the second the food touches our lips and our tongue, those taste buds, right? They're supposed to trigger this response in our stomach, and it doesn't do that. So now when the food touches our tongue, and partly because a lot of our food is fake, it's super depleted of nutrients. So the human body doesn't even recognize it the same way as it did 50 years ago, 100 years ago, even 10 years ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so those enzymes are in our cleanse, though. Cleanse, you think of it as a probiotic. I guess you couldn't see it. But cleanse is loaded with enzymes. So to help your body recognize that when the food touches, I need to call on protease. I'm eating protein. I need that enzyme to break down protein. I need to call on amylase. I need to call on, and that's all in this. So it's to help your body pre-digest. So you eat your food, it goes down your stomach, and when the food gets to your stomach or your esophagus, when it gets to your stomach, those enzymes should be there, but they're not. And then that food doesn't get broken down into the smallest unit possible by the time it goes into your small intestine. So this process, right? So your food, the next stop after your stomach, it's going to go into your small intestine. And at the same time, the liver and the gallbladder are getting ready to squirt juices to help break it down. But our livers are overwhelmed with toxins, so they don't work correctly. Half the population, that's an overestimation, I don't know the exact, doesn't even have a gallbladder because it's so sick. Instead of helping people repair it, we just take it out. Lots of people will connect with that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, so then in the small intestine, what's supposed to happen is your food is supposed to be broken down into the smallest unit, and it's supposed to start absorbing nutrients, right? But this is where we're going to talk about like leaky gut. Well, what ends up happening is the food isn't broken down correctly, so the nutrients can't be absorbed, and the literal intestinal wall is weak. It's not tight, and things get through, and then we have allergies, skin issues, and like all this autoimmune, right? Your body, all of a sudden things slipped through the leaky gut, the holes in the gut, and your body doesn't recognize it. And then we have a rejection of autoimmune. The body rejects it, right? So this is like, and then ideally you should poop out the waste.
We love talking about poop.
Yeah, we should be talking about poop. So it goes into the small intestine, your food is absorbed, which isn't happening. And this is another reason why we're like overweight, right? Our bodies aren't getting the nutrients. So we eat more and more because our bodies are like hungry. I need more nutrients. I need more nutrients. And then you overeat because your body still needs the nutrients.
Yeah.
And then we should be pooping, right? 2 to 3 times a day when we eat our full meals. Like we should be eating full meals that are filled with nutrients.
Not once every 2 to 3 days.
No, right? Right? That is not good. That means all that waste is holding in your large intestines, and you're absorbing toxins after toxins after toxins. And so that's where like, I know like there's all kinds of feels about our detox tea, but like you take this and you take how the program outlines, the first time it might be a little rough, but you'll catch on and you will poop and your system will start to work the way it's meant to work.
Yeah.
And when you're taking cleanse, you have some of those good bacteria to help balance out the gut flora. You have those enzymes to help break down your food. And then there's also dandelion and milk thistle that help to nourish the liver so it does what it's supposed to do, even though it's overburdened in our society.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so tell me, so the couple of the products you're talking about are part of our Liveology gut health system, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm sure as a naturopath, you've looked at, seen, used, referred
Yeah.
a ton of different products, right?
Always. Yep.
Because obviously you're looking at lots of different situations. So what was it about the lab products that you in the Liveology gut health that you like really were intrigued by, you liked about them, you would be willing to share with your clients? Because that's, you're obviously your reputation is on the line when you're sharing products with people, right?
Right.
So what was it about them that you really liked about it?
So one of the things I love, I wouldn't even say I didn't start with the gut things. I love the nootropic. Obviously you can kind of tell my personality, like I'm very ADD. I would not ADHD, but like have trouble just a little bit all over the place. And I can take the nootropic. So that's the Activate. That's what is part of this fitness bundle that you would take first thing in the morning. I literally can tell that my brain like turns on 30 minutes after I take it. Like I feel focused. Like I feel like elderly people, and I'm old, so like I don't like, but like that are just like feel foggy all the time after menopause, feel foggy all the time. Like this nootropic turns my brain on. And I feel focused. I feel like I'm not doing mindless tasks or like.
What is a nootropic?
Yeah, so it's all about the.
I'm like these words that we use them. We were like, what do they mean? I don't even know what they mean.
Right. Okay, so Activate, like the name nootropic is new to me as well. I mean, it is a buzzword. I feel like if you're like searching Instagram for brain health, but nootropics go to the brain. Targeting the brain, the health of the brain, bringing oxygen to the brain, bringing neuroplasty to the brain, right? Those neurons growing, developing, like not that our brain's like gonna shrink up and die, right? Like helping to build the brain. That's what this is all about.
Love
and
it.
I can instantly tell. So when I look at these products and I was trying everything, like I'm definitely a harsh critic, and I take months to evaluate a product, and this was like ADHD medicine in a bottle, like for real. Like I feel so on point. And then the second product that I really tried is I took this, I ate lunch, and then I took the CBD energy, and like literally I felt so good. Like the smoothest kind of energy, not like when you've had like a cola or you've had an energy drink or coffee, like you feel a little buzzy or you feel shaky, just so smooth. And I felt like I could just really, I could like run a mile and just do my day really well.
Yeah.
And not feel and I never crashed. That was the part that I'm like,
I love the Activate first thing in the morning, and then it's usually about after lunch. You take that CBD energy, and it just like takes you through the rest of the day, and you're like ready to go. Even when I wake up groggy and foggy, whatever, you take that Activate, and like 20-30 minutes later, you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. And it is really pretty crazy. So we have the CBD capsules, right? And then we have the energy mix. And what would be the difference between the two of those? And why would someone want to choose one or the other, do you think?
I mean, I think they do the same for me. Like, I'm sure there is different stuff in the capsules. For me, the capsules are just more practical.
Yeah, easier.
Like,
more convenient.
If I can't get, so like I was at that 40-hour birth recently, and I took it like every 4 to 6 hours, and I could just quickly pop it in my mouth. And I
didn't have to mix it up and drink it.
I didn't have to worry about anything. I love that. And it doesn't leave you, there's no crash.
Yeah.
So like I could just I basically took them every 4 to 6 hours for like 40 hours. And I didn't have a lot of food access, so like those kinds of benefits are priceless, right?
Yeah,
Like
for
you
sure.
just have them in your bag and you can do it. So like
Absolutely.
anybody who needs to stay awake for prolonged periods, like definitely on point there. Working out, I feel like if you're looking for a really good workout, if you're training for something, I feel like someone's training for something right now. When you're gonna have your long workouts, you're gonna swim, bike, and run in one day,
Yeah, right.
you might benefit from those CBD
Yeah,
energies
absolutely.
for sure. Yeah.
Let's go back to Morvita. You
Yeah.
talked about Morvita.
I just
Tell us
love
more
this.
about, yeah, exactly. The little
Right.
magic pack of stuff there, right? Tell us
Yeah.
more about that and what is Morvita? What's it made from?
Yeah.
Why is it so special?
Yeah. Okay. So it's just a very, many say the most nutrient dense plant um, on the planet. And there's a lot, actually, if you went to like Google scholarly studies, there's a lot of studies on this. So that's super fun. Like if you went there and you searched it, you would find a lot of amazing information to help breast milk, help mineralization, um, help people grow, like babies grow. Like there's tons of information
Wow.
about it. But what I love about it is just plants, right? God designed plants. All of these products are loaded with herbs, and herbs are in perfect balance. So if they're high in one thing, then they're high in something else that makes sure your body doesn't get out of balance, right? When you have celery and it's super high in sodium, well, it's also super high in other minerals, so it can get it into the cells of the body. Well, that is what is so amazing about Morbida, is it is like high in everything and in perfect balance. So it's high in iron and it's high in vitamin C, and both of those work synergistically to get into the cell and actually make a difference, right?
That's so
People
cool. Yeah.
take iron supplements all the time and their iron doesn't go up, or their iron storage doesn't go up.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't understand. And now I'm constipated and I feel like crap. When you can get it in a plant in the whole form, which is what this is, whole form with a little bit of stevia, um, you you have synergistically helped your body for those nutrients to be bioavailable immediately when they get into your, and then into your cells, and it's already broken down, right? So if you have to chew it and you have to process it, well, that whole thing, back to when we were talking about our gut health, well, our guts aren't healthy. And so the fact that you can just dissolve it into water, it is super bioavailable. I don't know if you can tell, but like, oh, on this side, my hair has grown this much in like 3 weeks, which is like,
Wow.
yeah, like, and
Yeah, we hear a lot about the hair and nail growth. It's crazy when you start taking Morvita.
yeah, and that's what
Yeah.
I attribute it to this. Like
Yeah.
once you're consistent with supplements, and from a naturopathic perspective, the key to any successful program is consistency. You
Over
can
time,
buy
right? Consistency over
all
time.
the things and you can have a nice typed out thing from your naturopath or even your doctor or your fitness coach, but if you don't do it, it doesn't help you.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
making those commitments to um, the consistency for 30 days, 60 days. Honestly, I like 4 months, 120 days. That's where we really see cellular
Yeah.
change.
That's
So,
really important, I think, because when a lot of people will try a system like Livology or the Fitness Bundle, right? And they'll be like, I'm going to give it 30 days. I mean, one
and
of
it
the great
didn't
things
do
is
anything.
Lab does offer a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee, which is great that we
Yeah,
offer that to someone, right? But what you're saying is really you need to give it 90 to 120 days to really give it a
100%.
fair chance to see the results start to happen in your body, right?
Yeah, for your body to be consistency. Like if you're only consistent, let's say you do it for 30 days and you miss 3 days because you were at a birth or you were at this or you went to your cousin's wedding, and all of a sudden that was only, that was really only 28, 27 days.
Right.
That's not good
Yeah,
enough.
for
It's not
sure.
good enough to have a cellular change to see like, wow, did my gut system get better? Can I really poop on my own between
Yeah.
the detox, right?
Right.
Like this is
Right.
to help us clear our gut system and be able to accept better nutrients. But um if you can't do it on your own,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Absolutely.
what we're moving towards.
I love it. Talk to us a little bit about the so we had the CBD energy,
Yeah.
but we also have actual CBD oil, right? And what we
Yeah, the
call our
snap.
snaps. So talk to us about the snaps a little bit and what would be different maybe in your mind about our snaps versus getting CBD oil from other resources, other places.
I mean, I would say just in general, like all of the um, products at lab are just that third party test, that NSF testing, right? You know, it's what it is, exactly what it is. They say what it is. Um, and just from trying it, doing it, and seeing results, right? Inflammation going down, feeling better, those headaches going away, right? Like,
Yeah.
um, I think that there's lots of products that work for some people and not for other people. The only way you know if it's works for you is to try it. And yeah, that takes an investment. Our health is worth the investment. And like you
So
said,
we got a question there from Elizabeth. Is it FDA approved? You want to talk a little bit about supplements and the FDA? That's a good question because it comes up a lot, right?
yeah, yeah. I actually think that it's probably better if they're not FDA approved because when they become FDA approved, then they limit a whole bunch of things and they tell you how you can take it, how you can use it, and they say how people can talk about it.
And
Um,
no supplements are FDA approved. No
mm,
supplements are FDA approved.
mm-mm.
They may be
I
produced in
mean,
an
so
right
like
and
some things like essential oils sometimes like become under an FDA umbrella. Like what you're
because
saying,
they're
like
at it.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah,
so controlled by the government, controlled by what the FDA says and doesn't say about them. But this is what we're talking about, the NSF is third party testing, meaning lab says this is what I have in this bottle. And then they take, and like there's like they buy the raw material and then they make the capsules. And so, there's a lot of room for error. And by using this third party testing, this is protecting the industry as a whole.
yeah,
This is protecting you and me. This is protecting the company's integrity.
yeah,
And when the NSF produces, yup, this is exactly what's in it, we should feel good about that. We
yeah.
should feel good.
It was so cool to get to go. I got to this in July. I got to go tour the facility that they produce out the lab and the tour and all that stuff. It's so cool to see how they're doing it. It's like it's amazing the processes they go through to make sure things are done right. And one of the things I love about our CBD is the
Yeah.
convenience. In the past,
Oh,
like
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
carry a bottle around with me, right? And you
And
didn't
then it
worry about
breaks
breaking
in
the
your
bottle.
bag.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so this is like it's all like one single serving in there. All you do in the snap is you just snap it
Fair enough.
so that it opens up, squeeze it into your mouth, and then it's super convenient. So I can throw a couple of these in my bag or have them in my car, and I don't have to worry about them leaking or getting bad, and I can have one serving of it. So I
Right.
love that for as far as the convenience of it. So,
Yeah.
well, as we go to wrap up a little bit, because we're
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
to get Ashely South on here to
Yeah,
talk to
go
us too.
Ashley. She's gonna talk
Um,
to us about the business and how to
yes,
really make this part of your lifestyle. Yeah, I
yeah,
love that.
yeah, yeah. She's awesome. I'm excited to get her on here and talk to everyone. What would you suggest to someone who's considering trying the lab products? What would be your number one suggestion to someone who's kind of interested and has been on the fence? What would you say to them?
I mean, so I really think they need to decide like why am I going to try these lab products? What kind of benefit do I want to get out of it? What does that look like? What are my end goals? Right? If it's like focus. So always I would say everybody should buy Morvita. This is like your multivitamin, your multi-mineral. This is just deep nutrients for your body. Everybody should be doing this every day, right?
Yeah,
Um, and then I think, depending on your budget, I think everyone should do the fitness budget. I mean, the fitness bundle. That's like
yeah,
the best. That's the Cadillac of the programs, right? And you're going to see the most benefit there. But
absolutely.
then to like decide what is it that I want, what gaps do I want to fill in my health and go there. If it's brain focus, get some activate. I've literally this in our other program that we've been working on since the new year. I've heard from so many people about sleep. Like this, we didn't even talk about that, but like if you're not sleeping, your body's not restoring, your body's not replenishing, your health is suffering,
Huge. Yeah.
guaranteed. Sleep is huge. And so like if that's really where you need to focus, you're not sleeping 6 hours a night, you're not sleeping 8 hours a night. I'm a huge proponent of 8 hours no matter who you are. 8 hours is super important, but I understand it doesn't always work for everyone
Yeah.
depending on where
Sure.
you're at in life, but so maybe sleep is where you need to start your healing journey. And maybe it's like that focus, that ADD, that's where I feel like, oh, that's really where I need to just be more focused and more clear about the steps of my day. And then kind of go from there. Does that make sense? I feel like I
Yeah,
just
no,
ran.
I love that we can buy it as a bundle. We can buy everything in the fitness bundle,
Right.
or we can buy everything individually depending on what our needs are. And that's super awesome. I love that about that. So if you're interested in learning more about the lab products, make sure you get back to the person who shared this video with you and asked you to watch it. Get back to that person and they'll be able to get you more information about that and get you the links and all that stuff you need to have to place an order. And I just say give it a try. And even though
Yeah.
we want to use it for 120 days, right? The 30-day money back guarantee is awesome because it removes all the risk, right? It removes all the risk from
100%.
there of that. And Lab is awesome about fulfilling that. So Lexi,
And
thank you so much for your time.
I never
You bet.
offer a 30-day money back guarantee. If I recommend a supplement, that's priceless, right? You
Yeah.
can definitely try and get the benefits for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I love
bye.
it. I love it. Thanks, Lexi.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna bring. Hi, everybody. All right, we're gonna bring Ashely South on.
Hey, hey.
Ashely, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Clyde?
Great. I'm awesome. This is so much fun. Wasn't that awesome with Lexi?
Yeah, I learned so much.
Same. Yeah, very much so for me too. So Ashely, tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you, tell me about your background, where you got started with Lab. Just give us a little intro of yourself and then we'll get into some more specific questions for you.
Okay, yeah. So hi, everybody. My name is Ashely. I have been in this industry, in the multi-level marketing industry, for about 3 years. And I've been with Lab for almost a year now. My background is not in sales. I had never sold anything before in my life. I actually have a degree in criminal justice. I was in the law enforcement profession before this, and quickly fell in love with the ability to work from home, work in my sweatpants and slippers, and tried the products and fell in love with them. And I built a huge team somewhere else, a huge business, loved it. Came over, tried the products, saw the compensation and the way that we could get paid here at Lab. The combination of products that are life-changing and the way that we get paid, like you just don't find both. And so I dropped everything and I ran over here, basically.
I love it. Let's talk a little bit about the products, what you like most about the Lab products. Because I'm sure when you made a decision to come to Lab, you looked at a lot of different things, right? Mm-hmm. And so as a good business person, I would expect that you would. And so tell me what do you like most about the Lab products, and maybe a little bit of a testimony about what they've done for you personally.
Yeah, good question. There are some people that just jump in the business to make money and they don't try products. I am not one of those people. Like I would not drop. Like I said, I had built a huge multi-level marketing business. I was not going to drop that business to come over here without being like knowing that these are A++, like better than everything else on the market, and I could put my name behind it, and because my name as a social seller is my brand. And so I first tried Morvita. Super skeptical. I got on the phone with our CEO, my husband, his brother owns a bunch of nutrition shops. Like we are a family that is very familiar with supplements, how they're made, how they're created. So my husband was putting them through the ringer. He had to make sure it was NSF certified. Where is it sourced from? And our CEO was so gracious. And my husband was like, all right, you passed my test. And so my next was to try. And he was so confident. He's like, you know what, just try Morvita for a month or two. I'll see you over here at Lab. And I was like, he is so kind and so confident. And then I tried it. And I'm talking my first week or two, I was addicted to caffeine, addicted to coffee. I no longer had a taste for it. I started to see my taste buds shifting, my energy levels. I would have to have an energy drink or something really unhealthy. I was taking energy pills, anything I could to get through the day around 2, 3 p.m. We have 4 kids, 3 dogs. My husband works out of crazy town, and my energy levels, I didn't need naps. I wasn't tired. And so I started to see these huge shifts. And the only thing I could think of,
speaking of our CEO, there he is. Hi, Brandon.
The only reason I could think of was like, oh my God, this has to be Moringa. This has to be Morvita. And it was. And so that is what actually brought me over here, was the efficacy and the effectiveness of Morvita, because I've never taken anything like it. That's what got me here. And then I started Livology because I was like, all right, these products are legit. Like I came over here, started the business. I did Livology and I was, again, skeptical. I was like, I'm not going to go into health and wellness. I hate when people post these before and afters. And I'm like, what did they do? Like, did they just work out 3 hours a day? Like, is that really a product? So I was like, no, I'm not going to change anything in my diet. I'm not going to work out. I was eating nachos every day. I know I shouldn't be saying this. Alexis is probably like grimacing at me saying this, but I was kind of a piece of crap, you know, like I wasn't going to change anything about my lifestyle. And I took Livology, and in my first month, I dropped a pant size and a half. I dropped 7 pounds, and it was all from my midsection. It was areas that, like, at age 38, I could not drop the weight. I would go to 1,200 calories a day, and I wouldn't budge. And bam, like that, even with my crappy diet, I saw changes. And then the next 6 weeks, I was like, okay, this works. Let's clean it up. Massively transform my body within 12 weeks. So
having many conversations with Alexis, she would say you got rid of a lot of inflammation, right? Like it was a lot of inflammation that, you were doing supplements, you were doing pre and probiotic, you were doing all these other things from other companies, right? But that's made such a big of a difference from you using these lab products.
Yeah, you name it, I've tried it. And the thing is that some of these products that I've tried or other companies or weight loss programs, they work, but they're wrecking your gut. So you stop them and then you gain weight back and then you gain more because it's done harm to your gut.
Yeah, I love it. Now you mentioned that you've been in direct sales, social selling before with a different company, right? And you've done that. So tell me about why you decided to leave your career in law enforcement to start a home-based business.
It wasn't the plan. It wasn't the plan, Clyde. I just jumped in curious and to get a discount. Like I was the worst person. I was just going to steal the products and I wasn't going to work it. I worked for the government. I supervised a big unit. I had a career. Like I was really good at what I did. Okay.
Yeah.
And, but I quickly saw, like, I think I made a few $100 my first week and I like paid off a small credit card and I was like, whoa, that was so easy. I just did that for wait, so you mean I just like shared it with a couple of people and they liked it and I just paid off a credit card? And so it quickly started to snowball. And it was unlike the government, no matter how hard you work there, you're never going to get rich. Okay.
Right.
You can show up and be the hardest worker in the room.
2% of your raise or whatever.
Yeah. You're never going to be rich. I was like, so I work harder, I make more money. And it blew up. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with helping people and serving people was still there. Law enforcement. And it's really the same. It's loving on people and serving people. And so that's kind of how I did that. And then it blew up within 9 months. I had a huge nest egg. I paid off my student loans, which I had a ton of student loans, credit card debt, medical bills, paid it all off, had a nest egg. And my husband is like, look, we have enough for you to pay for your own retirement, your own medical, do it, run it. And so I did. And I have never looked back. I make 3 times what I was making in law enforcement and I'm much happier. And I work 2 hours a day and I just started homeschooling my daughter and I can do it in my jammies. And so it wasn't meant to be, but it was meant to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. So I think a lot of people, they hear a story like that and they're like, yeah, she can do it, but I couldn't do that. I think we hear that a lot, right? Like they just don't believe that they could do it. It's too good to be true. It's just another one of those things, all those things. I mean, we've kind of made a list of things. I'm not a salesperson. I can't afford to get started. I don't know anyone. I only have 100 Facebook friends. No one makes money in those things. I don't want to bug my friends and family. All these things we hear constantly when we're talking to people about the business part of this, right? Now, listen, if you just want to use these products, we are happy for you to be our customers and use these products and get amazing results, right? We're looking for people who would want to just do what Ashely's done, or maybe not do it full time, right? Maybe just make an extra $100 a week for their family to help pay for groceries and pay one of those credit cards off. But what would you say to somebody who just doesn't think it's for them? They couldn't do it.
Well, one, I always like to say when I hear that, like these things don't work, like if I were to show up to my job at the sheriff's office and not work, I wouldn't get paid either. Like it's the same. You got to show up and you got to work to make money no matter where you go. So this image of like, I'm just going to enroll and money's not falling in my lap. Yeah, you absolutely have to work, but I have never seen the types of systems that we have here at Lab. And I know you're like the shining star of this, Clyde, and I'll ask you in a minute. But you don't have to have any of those things. I had never sold a thing in my life, not even my kids' fundraiser. I worked with all men in law enforcement. I had no girlfriends. And previously I was in the beauty industry. Okay. So I didn't have a market. I didn't have friends. I didn't want to sell. I'm an introvert. I'm shy. I don't go out. I don't talk to people when I go to restaurants. So no, I think that the internet takes away all those objections, and we can teach you how to do it if you want to show up and work, and you can do
Yeah.
it from your phone. Like there's no excuse. Like if you want to work, we'll give you the systems. We will teach you everything that you need to know.
I always tell people, you've never known how to do anything until you learned how to do it.
And
right?
I think you should tell us, because remember you came in and you're like, I don't know, what is this daily workflow? And you've had like huge success with it. Tell us a little bit about the daily workflow.
Yeah, so I've been with another company previously too, and my network will know that for sure. And though what happened to my other companies, I felt like I could win, but I didn't feel like it was set up for my team to win, right? I could pay for a coach to teach me things that were helping me move forward, but like it wasn't available to everyone. And then when I've been following Melissa, for Melissa Collins is who we work with, and she's kind of the lead guru in our group that's coaching us and everything. And I was following her, and there was just something different. I didn't know what it was. I just knew there was something different about her messaging, how she was doing things. And I reached out to her and said, I just need to know like what you're doing. I need to learn about your systems and your culture. And she's like, well, the only way to know is to just jump in and join, and you can get full access to everything I'm doing, and you can just see for yourself. And I was like, okay, but I'm taking advantage of that 30-day money back guarantee, and I'm going to, I totally had no intention on coming to lab. That was not the intention. But when I got in and I saw what she's created with the onboarding, with the training system, with the culture that we have, and the just all of the team, not to mention labs and the compensation plan. And then I went to Texas and met Brandon, and I mean all those things, like all that, met you on the shuttle from the airport. But like I was just like, oh, man, I went to Texas to one of our events. I went there as like a spy, basically. I was looking for the red flags as to why I wouldn't make this decision to join lab. And there just wasn't any. Time after time after time, I was so impressed of how things were handled and all these things. It was just amazing. And the other thing that I loved about it, I'll be honest with you, I came from a very large company. And the thing I love about lab is that we're about 3.5 years old, right? So we're old enough that when we're backed by a huge multi-billion-dollar company or whatever, so we've got all the things for the infrastructure that's there. But I love that there's opportunity because we're still new. We're still so new. And so anybody that wants to be involved in like leadership and those things, there's so much opportunity to come in and help build this company to what is, let's say, a $50 billion company, right? Like we're going to do it.
Yep. And I think it's important to add that this company was started right before COVID hit, started with one single product, started a few months right before the C word hit, and expanded and grew. Most companies tanked or like bombed.
Yeah.
Lab grew. And in the last year, Brandon Hayes is on watching. He can probably correct me, but I'm pretty sure our actual company sales have doubled in the last year. Like it is snowballing. And so if somebody were saying, oh, I can't do it, I don't think I can do it, jump in. What I would tell them, my advice to them, jump in now, because we've all been that person where you see your friend and you're like, oh my God, I wish I had jumped in with her when she first asked me. And you guys, it's a special month right now at Lab. It is $1 to enroll. I'm going to no, there's no tricks. There's no gimmicks. We're not going to like charge you $18.99 later. There's no website fees for the month of January only. We will not offer it again at all in 2023. It's $1 to enroll. You don't got 4 crusty ass quarters in the bottom of your purse or in your couch. Cause I know I do. $1 doesn't even buy a pack of gum. It's $1 to come in and find out. Like, come see if you like it. I'll Venmo every single one of you $1 back.
Right.
I mean, it costs you it's basically as free as we can get having a legally binding contract. We can't do it free. It's $1. Like, why wouldn't you come see? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me why everyone wouldn't want to come try.
Agreed. What would be your advice to someone who is, considering starting a home-based business, considering lab? They've watched someone that shared this video with them. They've been watching them. They've been seeing their success, but they just aren't sure. They're on the fence. Like, what would be your biggest advice to them, especially this month, right? What should they do? What would be the next step?
Next step would be to reach out to whoever your connection is here at Life Activated Brands. Whoever invited you to this call or shared this call with you, reach out. Get the $1 link to enroll. Come to one of our calls that we're going to have on either the 12th of January or the 26th. We're going to answer all of your $1 enrollment questions. We're going to show you how to get started, how to use our systems, how the app works. You guys, we have an app where you don't even have to know like what to post every day. We literally teach you, Here's how you make a launch
It's
post.
crazy.
Here's how you would respond normally to people and make friends. Like, it is not a list of make a list of 100 friends, do cold messages. It is the opposite. We will teach you how to actually become a micro influencer. Daily today, I've had 2 people in my inbox wanting to start this business with me. I don't have to bug my friends and family. In fact, my parents don't buy these products from me. My brothers-in-law don't buy these products from me. I've never had to ask anyone in my family. Ladies, I play tennis. Half of them don't buy from me. I don't need to. It has taught me how to become a micro influencer, and I have people hit me up for these products all the time. So I would say get with whoever you know here, jump in for $1, come to one of the calls. If you feel good about it, jump in with both feet. Try the systems. Really just jump in and use the systems that we provide you. There's a ton of people that would help you here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And so that call is this Thursday night. So you have plenty of time to get on, and that's the first one of the 2, the 12th. And there's going to be some great information presented there. It's going to be, I think the other thing I like to make sure we have fun.
Yeah.
Our group is fun. I cannot wait. We are going to Nashville for our conference here in a week and a half or whatever it is. And I'm so excited just to go, because you make all these relationships with people on social media and online and through our meetings and groups and stuff, and just see all these faces again and whatever. Because the first time I went, I didn't know a lot of people yet, right? So, but now it's like, I just can't wait because we have such a good time. I just see people out there driving Uber, delivering for DoorDash, getting serving jobs, leaving their kids, having to get a babysitter and pay them X number of dollars an hour to go make X number of dollars an hour. And they don't, what I mean? All these things that people are doing to make money. And it's just, and I mean, I did Uber for a little bit. You're literally almost losing money most of the time.
Oh, you are. And you're wearing down your car.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here, Clyde. A lot of people don't want to do what I do. Maybe they don't want to do this full time. Maybe you're a teacher and you're passionate for helping kids. Like, good, keep that job. This really can be a buffer, a safety net for you. And that's what it is for most people. You're telling me that an extra $2,000 or $3,000 a month, or even $200 or $300 a month, where you can pay a credit card or pay for your kids' new shoes, like that is life-changing. Most Americans cannot handle a $400 medical emergency anymore. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. Something that you can work for an hour on your phone, and it's not an hour all at once. I can do it like 20 minutes in the morning. I can do 20 minutes when I'm on the treadmill. I can do 10 minutes at home when my husband's watching a dumb Netflix show. I mean, to make money that way, to give you a safety buffer in your life is like, it's priceless, you guys. It's priceless. You absolutely should jump in and do it.
I love it. Ashely, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's going to be an exciting month for sure. If you, again, one last time, if anybody wants any more information, please contact the person that invited you to watch this video and just tell them, hey, listen, I'm ready to get started on the $1 enrollment, or I want to learn more about the products, and just order the product. The only way you're going to know if you like the product is to get them and try them, and then get started. So thank you so much for everybody. And as I always say, envision your best life. Have a great night, guys.